All right, everybody, I'm Logan Alec. I'm a CPA. This is my stimulus update for Thursday, December 17th. We're going to cover the latest developments on the new $900 billion stimulus deal that's coalescing right now. Pelosi and Schumer spoke with Mnuchin last night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. They agreed to speak this morning. So what's the latest? We do have fresh information regarding unemployment as well as stimulus checks in this deal. If you're an adult dependent, you'll want to hear what the Post is reporting this morning. I will get into that later in this video. Needless to say, at the moment, a lot of this fresh information is anonymously sourced, but it is from news outlets that have generally been good with this sort of thing. Washington Post, Politico, for example, they're both based in the DC area, have strong relationships with sources there that maybe other outlets don't have. Okay, so let's get into it. As I told you in my third and final update yesterday, there are still disagreements holding this thing up. Good news is it doesn't sound like any of these issues will completely kill or stall a deal. At least that's what people are saying. But even so, what are the sticking points right now? Well, like I told you last night, there is the state and local issue. Many Republicans believe that Democrats are trying to sneak state and local funding into the unified stimulus and government funding package by other names, potentially through FEMA funding. Democrats are saying that this FEMA issue is literally only a $1 billion issue that Republicans are raising a stink over. Also on state and local, the CARES Act, as we talked about before here on the channel, instituted the Coronavirus Relief Fund with an allocation to each state to use the monies from this fund on coronavirus-related expenditures before the end of the year. The deadline under the CARES Act for states to spend this money is December 31st, 2020. It is exactly 2 weeks until December 31st, 2020, and the pandemic with the resulting economic downturn is still upon us. So Democrats want to extend that deadline so states can use this CARES Act money all the way until the end of next year, right? The bipartisan proposal proposed extending it to a full year to December 31st, 2021. Republicans are resistant to that change. Also, Democrats are still kind of stuck on the Republicans' demands to limit the emergency lending programs. This was the Mnuchin-Jerome Powell issue from a while back. Apparently, they're still taking sides about that. Also, Chuck Schumer is pushing a $17 billion plan right now called Save Our Stages that he wants to incorporate into the stimulus package. This would assist live theater and other venues that have been forced to shut down and in some cases risk closing shop permanently. Some Republicans think this amount of money is too large. We know that Republicans in general are not opposed to more money specifically for live venues. In fact, in Mitch McConnell's most recent stimulus proposal, he had a line item in there, no amount disclosed, but a line item for a grant program to support live venues and theaters. The bipartisan proposal had it in there as well, but it's this price tag of $17 billion that Republicans think is too much. Frankly, that does sound like kind of a lot, right? $17 billion. Let me know what you think about this figure that Schumer is pushing for, because Republicans are like, okay, yeah, let's give some money to live venues, but not $17 billion. Some of that money they feel is better spent on a broader swath of businesses, not just specifically live venues. Interesting, though, that Republican Senator John Cornyn of Texas is kind of on board with Schumer's plan here. So as you can see, it's just kind of this and that, right? In the way of a final deal right now. You know, $1 billion to FEMA, this live venue issue. These aren't exactly deal-breaking items, but let's talk about unemployment, because the Republican push here might even be worse than we thought yesterday. The bipartisan proposal, the 908, which got split into 748 and 160, in that 908/748 proposal, the bipartisan group was saying 16 weeks, right, beginning in January, $300 a week for those on unemployment. Yesterday, we heard that Republicans want to slash that length from 16 weeks to 12 weeks. Well, this morning, the Post is reporting that Republicans want to slash that even further to 10 weeks, along with only extending PUA and other unemployment programs like PEUC for 10 weeks as well, with nothing retroactive. I told you last night that the number 2 Republican Senator, John Thune, was suggesting yesterday to make those who would be eligible for the $300 a week federal unemployment boost ineligible for the $600 stimulus checks. I said, yeah, I don't think Dems will let that happen because that's a terrible idea. Post is, in fact, reporting that this notion has been rejected by congressional Democrats and is unlikely to be incorporated into a final agreement. Stimulus checks, as we all suspected yesterday, coalescing around $600 per non-dependent and $600 per dependent. Notice I didn't say child. Post is reporting that adults claimed as dependents would be eligible. This is not confirmed. This is anonymously sourced. Take it as you will, but the Post did put it in print. Also, Post is reporting that U.S. citizens married to those without a Social Security number, as well as their citizen children, would be eligible for this round of stimulus checks. This is the Marco Rubio proposal. I did a whole video on Marco Rubio's proposal. I think it was over the summer. Link at the top of the screen, as well as in the description below. Check that out for more on that. It's sounding like they will incorporate Rubio's proposal into this thing. Also, keep in mind that folks like Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley are still pushing for larger stimulus checks than the $600. They want $1,200, similar to the CARES Act. One more thing here, it's being reported that this next round of stimulus checks will have similar income limitations, if not identical income limitations to the CARES Act. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching this update. I will probably have other updates today because things are moving so fast. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.